Okay, so here we have a P320X5, and we'll go ahead and take the fire control unit out of this thing, which is part of normal maintenance. And so the first thing is when I installed this safety, I had an apex trigger bar in this thing, and as far as I can tell, the apex trigger bar will not work with the manual safety. I'll show this on video really quickly, that I don't think it's compatible. So now you can maybe see that right here on the apex trigger bar, and this is the old apex, apparently the new apex doesn't have this, but on the old apex trigger bar it interferes with the M safety right here, and so I can't actually use it, and I would like to, so I'm thinking about trying to grind that down, but I would have to look closely at the new apex, because the shape of this factory trigger bar, there's nothing there to match to, so it would be kind of an awkward process for me. So that's one thing for the M safety, is I like it, but I can't use my apex trigger bar anymore. So that is one thing, which I don't mind that badly, because these P320s, they have a good enough trigger for me anyways. I have no issues. I have no issues with this trigger, but I think some people are pretty unhappy with them. So this has to go back over, then get shoved very, very firmly in, so it rests back in the sear housing where it belongs. There. So anyways, as you can see, that's how the safety works, is that it engages in this little slot right here against the trigger bar, and so the trigger operates like so, and with the safety engaged, the safety blocks the trigger bar from actually moving the sear. So it's not a sear block, it's actually a trigger bar block. It's one step ahead of a sear block, and it works very well. So that's the manual safety. We'll go ahead and put this back in the weapon, and we'll go from there to, there's not much to review on the safety. It's a safety, and it works, and I'm happy that I have it, because I'm, as most of you who know what my channel does, you know that I'm a 1911 guy, and 1911s come with thumb safeties. Now, one issue I have with the manual safety on the P320, which I've learned to get over, I've gotten over it with time, is that you can operate the weapon with the safety engaged. So safety is on, safety is now off. The weapon will fire with safety on, the weapon will not fire, but I can still operate the slide. Now, with the 1911, the safety fits up into a notch in the slide so that you can't accidentally force your weapon out of battery when holstering. And that's important to me because at the time of great emergency is not the time to draw my weapon and realize that it's not into battery and have to bonk it into battery, because when things get pushed out of battery, it sometimes requires a good amount of force, i.e. the action of the weapon cycling, in order for it to go back into battery, especially if you have tight spec ammunition, a dirty chamber, a battle dirtied weapon, or in a match. How about a match dirtied weapon? You can run into problems. But it's kind of a trade-off, because I've gotten pretty used to already in the short time that I've owned these P320s. I've gotten very used to being able to check my weapon safe and completely operate the weapon with the safety on, and also that, okay, now we have a discharged weapon, it can still go back on to safe and then get holstered, so it matches. I've grown to like the system, even though I think it has that one shortcoming. I've grown to like it, and I think a person can really get used to it and be safer with this even than with the 1911, that nothing will operate with the safety on, including the slide, because I never have to have a moment. Even, let's pretend I have a loaded chamber here, the weapon's on safe. With a 1911, there is that split moment where I have to place the weapon on fire, even though I'm not pointed at a target that I'm wanting to shoot, in order to clear the weapon. But with the P320, that's not required, that's not necessary. The weapon's on safe, and I can still operate it, check it safe, make it safe, etc. So that's the M safety, and that's how it operates basically. I'm a big fan of it. This fire control unit is a little bit difficult for me to take apart, where a 1911 is just literally a few pins and it comes right apart. There's, the only springs are the main spring, and so there's no fiddly small parts with a 1911. You just pop your pins out and all of your parts fall out and they go back in. So this fire control unit is a little bit more complex than what I'm used to gunsmithing on and working on. But I really like the idea. I like the design. It is very, very, very well hardened. It's a very durable metal that they made that fire control unit out of. It's not just cheap sheet metal, so I'm pretty pleased with that, and I'm very pleased with the manual safety conversion on this X series.